Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your co-pilot into the universe of Chinese. I'm welcoming you to join me continue on this journey of learning one Chinese expression to another. 油嘴滑舌 is what we talked about yesterday, of somebody who has a slippery mouth and tongue, basically a sweet talker. And we're going to continue with the 舌, this tongue. Concept 舌战群儒. Again, here 舌 is used as eloquence because it doesn't really mean like you're good at tasting things, right? It's not your palate capacity to be sensitive, to be able to tell different flavor. Here it's using your tongue to use as your speaking organ to imply that you really are eloquent and you can fight a crowd of scholars. 舌战群儒 simply means one person. You can offend, like win a debate in a room full of scholars who are also well-spoken, educated, and have their arguments against whatever you're presenting, but you're so good that you can just dominate the debate. So 舌战群儒 is really I don't know, I hope it happens a lot because that's how we are improving on our thinking, right? You have challenges and then you have to sort things out. So 舌战群儒 described exactly that scene. Same 舌, okay? 战 looks like this. Okay, it talks about fighting, or if we use 战 and 争, 争 is kind of a tug war. Two parties are pulling aside. That 战争 together means war. So 战, I guess, is a fight. It's the base unit of war, which is made up of many battles. This structure looks like an ancient weapon. So it got pointed edges everywhere, right? It's a weaponry. And the left side is pronounced as dan, so it was probably used as a sound maker. And then contemporary wise becomes this 占卜. Like a few episodes ago, we talked about this 占 in the character making of 占 standing. So that's again the sound maker, because this 占卜is a forecasting of the future, the ancient way, is a commonly used sound maker, but also common practice back then, I guess. Fortune telling. 群, we have the sheep sign. So the sheep horns and the fleeces going out horizontally. That's a fleece. And then the one leg, kind of frontal view, I guess, of a sheep looking just like that. That's our sheep image. And the left side is a sound maker. It sounds like a 军. Now it becomes 群. 群 means sheep, often herding in a group. So it's a herd of sheep. And eventually this sheep phenomenon, that group together, becomes, used as on humans. It's like humans, people are grouping together. So we have another character that uses 3 stick figures stacking up to mean it's multitudes of people. So here it's probably even more like you just imagine a herd of sheep, switch a sheep with people. So that's the sense of how many of there. And also, I guess there is another indication of this herd of sheep are going to be more like a uniform, like they're thinking alike. It's a group. It's really having their own group identity and group mentality. So there are going to be some group phenomenon. Like you are inside a group, you are not really having your own voice. It's a group voice. So that's the kind of crowd we're talking about. 儒, okay, here, this is probably the central concept for today, because this is a special character as a profession, as a social status in ancient Chinese society. We use it as scholars. Okay, scholars in our contemporary language use is somebody who studies something for a long time, become expert in that. So scholars mostly exist in the academic, in the ivory tower, right? Who are good with theories, not necessarily with applications. This is how Ru was written. And you got this stick figure, elongated, right? And draping down. It's really, really nice visual of that. And the top, the right side is a sound maker. So a god. The top is ring. So it looks just like from your window pane or your door, you see dots coming in. So that's raindrops, right? And the whole thing depicts the rain from the room, right? You're viewing from your room, looking outside, that's the rain. And the bottom is we talked about before, is a connector, versatile connector word. It can be both but, a twist of meaning, or and, continuation of meaning. And this came from this beard thing, I guess, below your nose. So it's people talking, right? So the whole thing, okay, you have weather, you have talking there. So I guess this is somebody who is knowledgeable, something about the world, about the weather. It's a person knowledgeable, be able to talk. Ancient times, this is somebody who's well read and who's almost like a literature man. Equivalent of that, who is absolutely have nothing to do with war, with military. Before we talk about the shi, so shi can be used as warriors in wartime, and then as civilians or officers in peaceful time. And eventually the shi also becomes well-read scholars. So shi, much more versatile. Versus Ru is really somebody who are good at talking mostly, or interpreting the weather, a weather broadcast man. So basically, as ancient times, there are aristocracy, people who are born on the bloodline that are certain social status, but human knowledge, you need to spend time learning that, right? So these scholars are simply spent long time learning. They're kind of Wikipedia back then, human Wikipedia, and then such aristocrat, people higher above, born into that, who are mostly ignorant and arrogant, whatever, right? And they consult these human Wikipedia about the traditions and what's the right manner, how to think about things, what the ancient wise men were talking, advising. So because we have a huge, eventually accumulate a huge body of literature, so it really requires a long time dedicated reading and studying to even know the surface level or the main masterpieces from the past, what ancient wise men are saying. So you have to pick the right phrase to use to illustrate or make meaning of a particular situation. So that's the scholar, the Ru, wrote. And eventually, okay, in the West, people heard about Confucianism. Confucianism as a main Eastern or Chinese localized school of thoughts or philosophy. It's translated as Ru Jia. So Ru is this word, Jia is home. So it's a home for scholars with similar shared views from the lineage of Confucianism. So 舌战群儒, I was trying to find an English word that means you're really dominating in a debate, knowledgeable, eloquent. So I don't know if Facund, I don't know if that's the right word. Okay, this simply means somebody who's very eloquent and always winning the debate, simply because this is either smarter debater or more knowledgeable, just superior in a debate. All right, cash into the currency of thinking with just one word a day with me, Sophie. See you another day.